Hey, we're up in a little town called Rio Vista in Northern California, in the Sacramento Delta, and this is the house of Vernon's daughter, Verna. So we're going to go in and interview Vernon, see what we can find out. Okay, so we're just going to do a sound test, see how this works. I'm going to come around and sit over here, okay, and I'm going to ask you questions. It's March the 13th.
Oh, it's March, yeah.
Yeah, 2005, a Sunday, and we're in Rio Vista, California. And we're going to talk about your early career. Can you start, please, by telling us when you were born? Okay, we know you were Vernon Ford Story, right? Vernon Ford Story. And where were you born?
New Orleans, Louisiana, 1922.
1922. And the exact day?
November the 16th.
November 16th, 1922.
That's right.
In New Orleans, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Okay, so it's Sunday the 13th of March, 2005. My name is Leon Gazenda. I'm interviewing Vernon Story. We're in Rio Vista, California, a small village in the Sacramento Delta. Okay, so Vernon, let's start right at the beginning. The date of birth?
I was born on November the 16th, 1922, in New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans, Louisiana. And your full name is?
Vernon Ford Story.
Ford Story. So is there a story behind the Ford? Or?
It's a long story.
Okay, great. So did you spend a long time in New Orleans, or did you move around when you were a kid, or stay in the same place?
Well, I moved at the age of about 8 years old to New York City. The family moved to New York, and I naturally had to go along at that age. So it was right from New Orleans to New York.
Okay. Did you remember you were in junior school, right? Elementary school. Did you play any instrument when you were very young, or did your father or mother play?
I played around with anything I could get my hands on in music, any instrument I could find, and I had a uncle who was a saxophone player.
Oh, okay. What was his name? Do you remember?
Eddie Williams.
Williams?
Yeah.
Okay, Eddie Williams.
Eddie Williams.
Eddie Williams. Okay, saxophone.
And he had been playing with some local bands in New York, and I got the idea then that the horn was my instrument, because I was fooling around with the piano and found out that it was all right, but I preferred, after hearing the instrument saxophone, that clarinet and saxophone, that those reed instruments were my best bet.
Oh, okay. And did you have brothers and sisters? Did they play anything?
Oh, I was the only child.
You're the only one, so
Right.
not your mum and dad, just your uncle, and you got started that way.
That's right.
Okay, and now Eddie Williams, was he formally trained or?
Yes, he was, and he was playing with the bands at the time that were pretty well known, like maybe it could have been Chick Webb that he was playing with, but he was pretty well on his way.
Oh, okay. So he was a professional.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, and so then how did you started to play on your own, and then did you play with other kids in the neighborhood, or how did you get into a band the first time?
Oh, how the first time? Well, in the place I lived in Brooklyn, there was always some local, up and down the block, people, guys, young men my age, practicing different instruments. And we didn't formally form a group, but we just got together every once in a while and made our own kind of music.
Oh, that's good. So did you get any training at school? Did they teach you?
Yeah, well, I was going to, like, I should have mentioned that clarinet was my first instrument.
Yes, yes, yeah, clarinet,
And
yeah.
I was taking clarinet lessons down on Broadway, 42nd Street in New
Oh,
York.
42nd Street.
Mhm. And I was practicing clarinet most of the time until I finally talked myself into getting, what my mother, getting to buy me a saxophone.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't switch, but I was playing clarinet and saxophone.
Oh, straight to the tenor sax?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And can you remember any of the other kids who were there playing with you at the time? Was there anyone you played with later, or
Well,
you all went your own
we
ways?
had a group called Manhattan Sextet.
A Manhattan Sextet, okay.
There was a group, there were 6 of us.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So we called it Manhattan Sextet. We played all of the local dances, jobs, and that we could get every weekend. And we had after school dances and neighborhood dances. People would throw parties and we'd play for them if they wanted live music. But it was always something to do musically at that time.
Oh yeah. Who were the people you remember? Who were the big stars at that time, or the guys that you looked up to and
Oh yeah,
and learned from?
Actually, Benny Goodman was one of the first.
Oh yeah, Benny Goodman, of course, was really famous.
Right, and he inspired me for the clarinet, and I really did look up to him on the clarinet, and I tried to emulate him a lot when I first started doing clarinet. And then when I finally branched off into saxophone and through to a cousin that I had that was actually making a living playing saxophone, I decided that if I could get my mother to buy me a saxophone,
Right.
I would be in good shape, which it proved, and I went into the tenor sax and the clarinet.
Was that an expensive kind of instrument in those days?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
especially.
I mean, they still are.
They are still, well, in comparison, they were very expensive for those days, the economy.
Oh right. And so you went on. Did you see many of the visiting musicians there in New York? Did you ever get to see any of the? You saw. You mentioned Benny Goodman and so on. Did you ever see any of the big guys playing around there, or was it difficult to see that?
Well, it was kind of expensive to see, to go to the places they were playing. So the Paramount Theater in New York, and they would be there for maybe a week. And then we had some good local bands in Brooklyn. I remember one by the name of Clarence Berry. They had a real good orchestra that played very good. They had their own arrangements. They sounded very good. They were the best in the neighborhood, in the area.
And they would probably put recordings out as well. So is that Barry or Berry?
Berry, Clarence Berry.
Okay, I'll have a look.
I don't know if they. I don't remember them putting out any, but they were the local bands that we always looked up to. They're used for all of the local dances and things.
Right. And so then you became more of a pro, I guess, as you got older. And
Oh yeah.
and who was the first of the band that you met up with? You met up with Rhett Stewart later.
Yeah. Well, I played with the. It was a band, or the musician that had the band that I started with, named Steve Pullum. Steve Pullum.
Oh, Pilgrim.
Pullum.
Oh, Pullum.
P-U-L-L-I-A-M.
Okay, Pullum. Okay, we'll find that. Steve Pullum. Trombone.
And
Okay.
I'm not sure that he might be. His name would be recognized at this time, because it was a local group in Brooklyn, and but he was the best. He had the best band going at the time.
So this was late 30s?
Yeah, this was around just before World War
Yeah.
II.
Okay, so
Just before,
over here it was been 39, 40.
yeah,
somewhere.
it was in 39 or 40.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Okay. And we saw somewhere, I think in the Swedish jazz magazine, Estrad, they said you'd played with Cab Calloway somewhere, or Did you play? I know you met Cab Calloway. Did you play in a band with him somewhere?
Never did play with him.
No. Okay.
No. Cap stayed on the road so much we didn't have time to meet exactly.
Right.
Actually, he was in California and different places, and I stuck as close to New York as possible at that time.
Okay. And was he at that festival in France in Nice? Because there was that was 47. Okay, we're never going to find out more about that because I've seen at least one or two clippings.
Okay.
Yeah, where you're mentioned there, but we need to dig around and see what we can find out about that.
He was a boy.
So then you did you make any recordings before the war or around that time or before you met Rex Stewart?
Steve, hold on. Did we make some? We did, but under no name that I could even remember right now. It wouldn't be a name that, because names have changed on recording, and I don't know if they would still be any around that by whatever title it was going on at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have a look because quite often people recorded in the clubs, right?
Yeah.
So you got stuff done there.
People made sound recorders when you didn't even know you were being recorded, you know.
Right. I heard that. And so were there any recordings at all before you went on the tour to Europe?
No, we didn't make any.
Didn't do any before then.
Mm-hmm.
And by then you were playing tenor just about all the time.
Yeah, tenor and clarinet. Yeah, mostly tenor.
Okay. And how did you meet Rex?
Well, it's a good one. See, Rex was well. There was a drummer we had in our band local band I was playing. We had formed, and he and I both met Rex. Rex looked us up where he had heard us or something.
Oh, okay.
I believe, and we were playing someplace, and he had heard us, and then we got to. He got in touch with us to see if we would be interested in playing a tour.
Mm-hmm.
He was putting together a tour, and
right.
he wanted to see if we would be interested.
Sorry, so we were just saying how you met Rex. So you had a drummer who knew it, and then Rex contacted all of you?
We had Ted Curry. He was out.
Ted Curry.
Mm-hmm. He was the drummer with me. He stuck with me most of the jobs I had played, and we stuck together. And we were playing, I don't even remember what group we were playing with at the time, but Rex heard us playing together, and he requested that we have a talk with him on business.
Okay.
So we decided to, Teddy and I decided that maybe it would be a good idea to join up with Rex and see the world.
Right, yeah, sounds like a great idea. And then you found, let's see, so Ted Curry was the drummer, Sandy Williams?
Sandy Williams was the trombone player.
Trombone player, okay.
He had been most experienced, but he was the oldest one of
okay.
the group. And
John Harris?
Oh, Johnny Harris.
Johnny Harris.
He was
alto sax?
Uh-huh.
And where did he come from?
I'm not sure.
Now I think he's on one of the recordings that we listened to the other day. And then Don Gaze?
Don was the pianist, and he had been playing in different nightclubs and things as accompanist, people singing and so forth. And he and Rex were more acquainted than the rest of us.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he already knew Rex.
Right.
Yeah. Had you run into any of these people, Sandy or John or Don or Ted? You of course you said with some of them you played, but the rest of them you kind of met as you went on the tour.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met and we really became acquainted when we started rehearsing.
Where was that?
And this was in New York and in different rehearsal studios.
This was after the war.
This was, pardon me, I didn't know.
Was that after the war or?
Oh, this was, which, this was doing, I guess it was after.
Mm. So you started rehearsing there, and then you went by boat to Europe.
Oh, by boat, yeah. Well,
The
Rex,
liner, right?
Rex is the one that made all arrangements, and we found that we had, there was a ship that was taking us to Europe, so we had a jolly good time getting ourselves together to go there, to the surprise of everybody, of all our friends and so forth, that we were getting ready to go to Europe for a tour with Rex. And he'd already set up the dates and different places we were going to perform. And then he took us, and we arrived in that's France.
Yeah, probably Calais, Le Havre.
Oh,
Yeah, Le Havre, probably, yeah, somewhere like that.
yeah.
And then, and sometimes they went into London. But you started in France. Did the band play together on the liner, on the ship?
No, we never, because I think if I can recall, yes, I think we did have we entertained a couple of times when the weather got rough. The people decided,
Right.
we decided to give Rex decided to entertain a little bit, so
Yeah.
people could be.
So do you remember what which ship it was going out?
No, that's Swedish. It's French, American.
We can probably find it from the clip-ins. I think we've got a few photos, and we'll try and find the album and scan some photos in,
Right.
and bundle those up separately.
That information is. I have a scrapbook, but I don't think. Yeah, I can see the.
Oh, there's a scrapbook.
I have a scrapbook.
Oh, we'll have to.
I have that has the pictures of us. The pictures
Of the guys all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the ship, I think, or something.
So you got to France, and did you played in the Hot Club de Paris and other venues?
Yeah, that was our. I think that it was the club that we actually sponsored us to come in there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the Hot Club of France.
Hot Club of France. That's right. And so that's where you met Django Reinhardt.
Yes.
Yeah, he was what a character. What did you learn from him? I know it was guitar, but he was a very well-known musician.
Very
already.
well known, and he gave us a lot of. He gave myself anyway a lot of good ideas, thoughts on the tour and all the music that went on, or that we should actually concentrate on.
Mm-hmm.
And we made a few sounds together, which was very, very well received, I think, and especially in the different clubs we played.
Oh, you played in several different venues?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We played clubs, nightclubs, and dance halls.
And there were recordings made there?
And in some instances, people probably did have, at that time, primitive type of recording that they could make on their own. Those who were looking ahead at the time, I imagine there's always somebody who is.
Mm-hmm. And where did you go on from Paris? You went to several other countries besides Sweden.
Oh yeah, well we went from Paris to Marseille to.
Oh, Marseille.
You name it, we were practically in all French towns that have music hall.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
And that lasted until I think that contract ran out, and the band the band that we had originated, went over to, started with.
Mhm.
Some had to leave and come back to the States for different purposes, and it was left up to Johnny Harris, I think his name is, clarinet and saxophone player, Ted Curry, drummer, and
Hello. Hello. Sorry, I'll edit that bit out. So yeah, so John Harris was the clarinetist, and so the band was it was starting to run then, but you were still in. You hadn't gone from France to other countries. This was totally in France.
Still in France.
Okay.
And we got to Marseille, which, as if I recall, after we played Marseille, we had a dance. We had a week's job there.
Mm-hmm.
A gig, we used to call it, a week's gig, and we were approached by different. Some of us were approached for this purpose, and the other ones were approached for different. So I felt that the band actually we had served our purpose at that point.
Right.
Most of us, some of us decided, well, maybe the guy wanted to come back to the States, got homesick.
So you've been there for a few months, or
Yeah, we've been there for almost a year by now.
almost a year. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And with different reasons, different ones had to leave and come back over to the United States. And Ted Curry and myself, the drummer and myself, we decided that we weren't ready to come back. And we had other arrangements. I had made arrangements to go into Sweden
Mm-hmm.
with another organization.
Okay.
And so after everything else, when Rex's group disbanded, we disbanded the group. And I went and took a trip to Sweden
Uh-huh.
and decided to got a job there to play for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not for myself, but for the Swedish organization.
Oh, that's cool. And now, when you were there, just before we go on to Sweden, let's talk a little bit more about Rex, because Rex was quite a famous band leader
Rex
at the time.
was Duke Ellington's good horn player
Right.
at the time, and Rex made all of the same sounds that Duke wanted in the band at that time. And then when I think Rex decided to go out on his own and get his own group together because he had built up a name on his own for himself. And so he lived, we went to Europe under his name and professionalism.
Right.
And,
So was he a good band leader? I mean, business wise, there's the business side and then there's the music side.
yeah, well,
So-
as far as business, he did the best he could. I would put it that way. But we had a manager, but I can't remember who his name was at this time. We had there was a group. There was somebody that was guiding Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure who it was even now.
This is not the guy who went off with B.B. King later. No, it was just some other manager that he was working with in New York.
Yeah, actually, I believe it was Rex's wife was the manager.
Oh, Rex's wife. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and I can't even recall her name.
Now, was Honey Johnson on that tour as well?
Yeah, Honey Johnson was the singer.
Mhm.
She sang and performed her thing. She was introduced to us as the vocalist, and but nobody had really known her before.
And she had a pretty good range, right?
Yeah, she was very, very good, and very good with the band at that time.
And some of the other players again. I mean, Sandy. What was Sandy Williams' strong
Sandy Williams
points?
was the trombone player.
Yeah, he was a trombone player. He was.
Yeah. he was the funny one.
he was a character.
The funny one. but he kept everybody's stitches anyway, because he was known to Rex long before he came to the band, and Rex brought him on because he was a good trombone player plus personality.
His personality, that's fine. That's always good when you're travelling. And John Harris, what about his music? And
well, John Harris was a standard alto saxophonist,
okay.
And he was straightforward. There was nothing spectacular I can say about John Harris. He was a regular good musician.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. And Don Gase?
Don Gase, a piano player that he was, to me, all right. He was a more sophisticated type of piano player, which to me shouldn't have. I would have run the down home, bang bang the down piano player. Mm-hmm. Don was very sophisticated type.
Yeah. Okay.
But he had that type of personality. He was a sophisticated looking person, and he stuck to that mode.
and Ted Curry.
Ted Curry was my good buddy, and he and I had been playing with each other in different groups in New Jersey. And we always kept together on jobs, on gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got the gigs, and he would be with me, and if he got one, I would be with him. And Rex hired both of us at the same time.
Oh, right.
We both wanted to go the same way.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so then you went on to Sweden and got started there, and that was in Stockholm?
Yeah, Stockholm, and then all of the places in Sweden that I can't even remember the name of the town or some of them.
Did you go to the west coast, like Bergen, or... oh, sorry, that's Norway. That's further across. Did you go to Oslo?
No.
No, okay, so it's in Sweden.
Yeah, Norway was, for some reason we didn't.
Yeah, so probably up the east coast of Sweden.
Right, through, right, straight up there.
And you recorded there, there was a recording in December 1947 for Kupol, I think they said. Now, that maybe, we've heard some of those recordings lately.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we'll go back, because I'll remind you, we'll go back to the recordings we've got, and then maybe you can remember something about those recording sessions, because I think it was you, and then there were a lot of Swedish musicians.
Yeah, there was that too. And,
were there other Americans with you in that first part in Sweden? Because I know when we saw the movie clip of you, there was another American there, but I don't know whether it was just for the movie.
There was, it seems, I can't remember the names though, but they were some replacements for the one we lost on the route.
Ah, okay.
So, like Don Gase, for instance.
And he went back to the States.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
He was replaced by, in order to keep the group going, and then when Rex was not any longer in the picture, we went out more or less on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And did the best we could with contracts on the side that we had gathered along in case of emergency.
Right.
So we used the piano player at the time, whoever was good at the time, we just had to use.
So we saw the clip that Jens Lindgren sent us from Sweden, the little movie clip.
Yeah.
Do you remember that being recorded and what was going on at that time? Because it's obviously it's a full feature movie about something quite dramatic.
Yeah.
And there's that sequence of you playing. And you're playing in a club kind of setting there.
Right, right. I think I recall some of that, and a couple of times it must have happened too, because at different times we played. I had this. We had this job in Sweden where I think it was an ongoing job. It wasn't a one-nighters and stuff like that. It was a nightclub.
Oh, okay.
Nightclub situation where we played. We were the house band.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So whoever happened to be over there at the time from the United States, from here, we would, and he happened to be available, we could use him.
Right.
So if he was looking for something to do, we'd pick him up and we'd get together and play. But as regular contractors at the time, we didn't have contracts with the persons. They played if they wanted to.
Oh, okay.
If we could needed them, whatever the occasion was, but it wasn't under contract at the time.
And the movie, was it done on a set, or was that, it looked like it was done in or close to the club?
Yeah, well, as I recall, the movie they were making included us, but I don't recall whether the movie was because we were there or because they needed.
They just needed a jazz singer.
Wrote us
Right.
into the script.
Just write you in.
Because we were there, right?
Right.
And it might add some kind of value to it, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to see a translation of what's going on there, because
Yeah.
they have quite an intense discussion in the side room, and then they actually mention him, I think, and then they're out and they
Oh,
are
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
So I think things were
The Swedish
rolling at that time. Then you went, after Sweden, you went back to France and Switzerland, it looks like, between January and April in 1948. Do you remember that? There were some sessions, some concerts at Salle Pleyel, and I'm not sure whether Salle Pleyel is in France or Switzerland.
That's in South Korea, was in France.
In France, okay, yeah, sounded like it, but it could have been the
Yeah.
French part of Switzerland.
Have a name like that, probably, but that was France.
Yeah, so did you go to like Zurich or Geneva or somewhere?
Yeah, we went to Geneva. We went to just about you name it, and we've been there except for Britain.
Okay, and do you remember any of the people you played with in France or Switzerland? We know about Django. Was Stefan Grappelli there at that time, or was that later? Because I know Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli did a lot of stuff together, but
Yeah.
I don't recall when that actually started.
I think he was there, but I never remember playing at the time with him. But I remember the name coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and it was always with Django being involved. See, Django and I, we talked and played together on an official basis, not as much as just for jamming purposes, to entertain ourselves, but it wasn't ever on us. Well, we were going to be paid for this one, you know.
Right.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, well, but that's good. And did you also go into Germany at all?
We went through Germany.
You went through Germany.
Yeah,
Okay.
we played. We played something in Germany. I remember going to Berchtesgaden, and we did play in Germany.
Hmm.
Yeah, we played a few jobs in Germany.
Well, what was the audience like in these various countries? I mean,
Well,
yeah, I mean they're going to be, they're European. They're going to be predominantly white people,
yeah.
I guess, in all those.
and most of
Clubs.
them,
Well,
in
most
fact,
of
all of them, just about.
Yeah, because I guess there weren't really a lot of.
Well, there was a lot of curiosity.
Uh huh.
because they was actually talking. I was curious to see what was this all about, you know. And they couldn't imagine American jazz coming, and some of them had wondered what it was all about. So they came out of curiosity, and some had heard jazz before and liked it, and they say, "Oh, yeah, this." And New Orleans was very famous. New Orleans had a lot of the jazz, old-time jazz musicians. I call them old-timers, but they were Johnny Roll Martin. And,
Oh yeah, Jelly Roll. Yeah.
And a lot of the old-timers, the big names that used to be.
Did you ever go back to New Orleans to play? Or?
I never did play New Orleans.
That's strange, isn't it?
That's weird.
That is weird.
But New Orleans was, I left New Orleans early and only went back on visits. You know.
Now you did you went to there was the International Jazz Festival, I think the first International Jazz Festival in Nice, I think in 1947.
Right.
And there were a lot of players there. I remember
everybody came over.
I remember you mentioned Armstrong. Louis Armstrong was there. You got to talk with him.
Yeah. Now he gave us some good advice, which unfortunately good advice never stays with you long. So what he told us, you know, what to expect in a few things, and it sounded good at the time.
Uh-huh. What was the big event there? Were you there? So it was a whole week or what?
Yeah, it was a jazz festival for whatever country it was in. It was let's see, New Orleans Jazz Festival held in what country?
Nice.
It must have been.
It was Nice.
Nice was the only one.
Yeah, Nice was the one. And do you remember what the high points were there? Were there any new people emerged, or was it mainly people you heard and seen before?
It was mostly well, there was a lot of new faces for me, and some I'd never met before, and it was as much of a festival for me as it was to the audience, the other audience, because we all enjoying everybody else's with music and so forth, and so I think it was just a good time had by all.
Right, I think I saw Humphrey Lyttelton was a quite famous British jazz player.
Yeah.
Became a musicologist. I used to listen to him on the radio when I was a kid back in England, and I think he was at Nice as well, and had a small band for many years afterwards.
Yeah, Nice Festival I think was a yearly thing.
Yeah, I think it's still going.
It's still going.
Yeah, I believe it is. That again, we can look up on the internet. That will be kind of interesting.
Festival to me.
Yeah. And so, well, the first tour, you know, the tour with Rex Stewart, we covered how that gradually faded, and then you all went your own ways. So, what happened to bring you back from Europe? You were out. You were still in.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, I had sent I sent for my family.
Ah, okay.
And
so Thelma. So when did you meet Thelma?
Well, when she came over, I sent for her to come over because it was, in fact, I left her here and went to Europe. So,
yeah.
So as a matter of fact, I guess she was pretty mad at me for leaving her.
And I know she was in Sweden, right? Because there was mention of her in Sweden.
She was in Sweden. Did I leave her there?
Or maybe it was France. I saw a note from
France.
somebody.
Yeah, I don't think she got
Saw
to
there.
Sweden with me again. But she came back. Before I did, she became very, very ill, and I figured she was in a French hospital. So she wanted to go to. She would rather have been here in this country because of the family, with her mother and so forth. So we shipped her back over here.
Oh yeah, and then later, of course, 1948, Verna. Well, Marcia was born before, right? So.
Yeah, Marcia was 1947.
And then you decided it was time for you to come home.
Well, yeah.
And you know, you got the kids and the family and whatever. What did you do when you got back to? Was that back to New York?
Yeah.
And was it still in Brooklyn, or had you moved out?
Well, let's see now. when I got back here, back to America, I had made some roots as far as music was concerned in New Jersey, Atlantic City area.
Oh, Atlantic City, okay.
And
And this was where all the casinos and clubs were
now.
are now. But in those days,
They had Atlantic City was known for more or less an open city
okay.
where just about anything goes, but they didn't have any official title. Atlantic City was a good time city, which a lot of people came from all over the country to go to.
A lot of
and
people.
It's on the water,
Right.
and it has a boardwalk. Let's see how many miles of boardwalk, I should know it by heart. At that time, I think it was about 8 miles of boardwalk, and we could walk one in right on the ocean front. So there was some clubs there, and I started playing in some of the nightclubs in Atlantic City.
Who were you playing with then? Was that?
Well, I had started now playing on my own in groups.
Oh, you got.
I had formed my own groups.
You had your own groups. Oh, that's great. Can you remember who was playing there?
Big name wise, well, they had big names in some clubs that would come in once a month. They changed just about the groups once a month or less, depending on how popular they were at the time. And you name them at the time, the musicians who were famous. I had to spend at least 1 week in Atlantic City in those days to be anybody. So to be playing in Atlantic City in those days was to be somebody like playing in New York. So to play there, I had got into a club where I played nightly in a small club there, and it was 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week sometimes, more or less. But then that's the way it went on for quite a while. When you go from one job to the other one club gets they want the same crowds,
right.
So I would go from one club to the other.
And you had a lot of big mix of people there, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
and then you had the big bosses, right? The mob bosses were down there.
That wasn't the good days when they bad days.
The bad
days. How you look at it. They had the competition between everybody out for the same dollar. And it was well known for its gambling, and it was a good haven for racketeers at the time. But before that, it was more known for having.
And everyone liked the party.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 24 hours.
Right, and then so after Atlantic City, so you were still playing. This was your main occupation, so you're still professional. And when did you move away from Atlantic City? Because you wound up in Rochester, I think, by the time Vernon was a kid.
Well, let's see, 1950. Atlantic City went down more or less. The nightclub scene in Atlantic City started deteriorating to the point where there was no only the boardwalk was the attraction until it started again. It refurbished itself, became even greater, better, like right now. But then to move off the scene from Atlantic City back to New York would have been quite a leap for me, because now I had a family that I really had to stay home and play close to home. So I guess you could say I went out and got an honest job.
There you go. So that would be in the very early 50s.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the 50s, and I'd play other places on the side as long as the things last, but the economy wasn't supporting it. Seemed that the good entertainment business, like it used to, the nightclubs were closed.
Did you keep in touch with those original guys, with Ted and Sandy Williams and those guys? Do you know what happened to them later?
Well, Ted, we all split up there in France. Ted left and came back before me. I was the last to come back. I think I was the last to come back out of the group that originally went over there.
And Rex was still touring and formed a new band over here.
Formed a new band. Yeah.
Did you see him after the European tour ever?
No, I never saw him.
Never saw him again?
No, not.
That's strange.
Yeah, that was a one-time thing.
Yeah, how about any other, like Sandy Williams or Don?
We never met anymore, not in this country.
Uh-huh.
I stayed in Europe longer than the rest of them, I believe, except those who stayed for good, which were some. I think a couple of guys stayed there for, like, who did? Well, these are the group that came over after I left Rex. They went with Rex, and I went to Sweden, and Rex still had the band going, and he had a new band. I call it the New People. So I was out of that group, and I'm not sure what happened after them.
Can you remember when you last played? When did you stop playing professionally? Can you remember? Was that in the early 50s or? Because you were working up in Rochester, and I don't know where you went after that. You came out to California around 80 something.
To get out of when I stopped actually trying to make the sole income from music. It was when the music changed, and different groups were trying to find themselves. I would say some was going in one direction, and some was going into straight bebop.
Yeah, now you guys were mainly bebop, right?
Well, I call it more down home blues type of
down home blues early on when you were touring.
Yeah, bebop was
bebop came a bit later.
1948, and everybody was. See, bebop was something that most people. I mean, it's hard to understand if you're not a musician. There was nothing to bebop that was different, except it was bebop.
Right.
Everything ended as a bebop thing.
Right.
And then people started singing it and making something out of it. But Dizzy Gillespie, his intention, he played less bebop than anybody I know, and he was the originator of it. So
and he was the originator.
They would call it bebop, yeah. And then they started making bebop songs. It was a good build-up, but.
Did you ever meet Gillespie?
Yeah, I met him, but I can't remember under what occasion it was. But,
and how about Coltrane? I know you liked Coltrane.
Coltrane was my man, yeah. Coltrane, John Coltrane. He and I never met.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it was a shame because I'm sure I could have gotten a lot from him personally.
Mm-hmm.
But
how about the modern guys? What do you
now?
You got the wild guy. I mean, like Miles Davis, of course, for years was pretty dominant.
Was dominating, and there was somebody on you had a while ago that was impressive.
Oh, Joe Henderson?
Yeah, Joe Henderson. Yeah.
Did you ever meet him?
Not that I recall.
He's very technical, but
yeah, but he's good. I mean, he's like a lot of the musicians at the time. He got hardly. I mean, I like his style. I mean, I like his thoughts and his tones and so forth.
Now, the kids, like Verna and Marsha, did they learn to play anything?
They had no interest in what I was doing in music. Like, there was nothing I could do to persuade them that this is what they should be doing or listening at. They had a whole other thing going, which is what they would call rock and roll, or whatever they called it at the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, their minds were on what was going on in the general level of music. They were, way ahead of my time as far as music is concerned. for popular music, I would say.
Yeah, I know Verna played the accordion for a while, so
Yeah, well, yeah,
that's a
Marsha
bit different.
didn't play nothing. She didn't even want to hear it. Like,
Marsha didn't play, okay.
you know, she didn't want to even hear it, I imagine.
Hmm. And so now, later on, I know that there were odd occasions you ran into people like Count Basie. I think it was was that Kenny's birthday party or your birthday or somewhere when you were in New York? I think it was. Basie came to someone's party,
Yeah.
the birthday party or something.
Right. So much was happening to me in New York. It's hard to pin down one thing that happened in New York. So much happens.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Verna because I think maybe she'll remember what that occasion was.
Yeah, and you would need Thelma there too because her memory never.
Oh yeah.
She had the memory.
Yeah.
She would memorize every day, which is on the 24th of that was when you were right, okay, because she depended on. I mean, the occasion when I do something crazy, she would say, "You remember the time?" Oh, yeah, okay.
Now, when did you last play the saxophone? Can you remember that? I mean,
oh, I tried.
I've never seen you with a sax since I've known you, but
I tried it not too long since I've been out here in California. Sometime I got my hand on the horn. Where was I? What was I doing?
now you were working with Hewlett Packard for quite a while. I know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Before you retired.
Hewlett Packard. Yes, right on the horn.
We have to find out. We have to see whether we can rent one for you.
Yeah,
See
well,
whether.
I would be interested in, first of all, I'd have to rebuild an embouchure to blow.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That takes some whole sounds, whole notes for a long time. Drive people crazy until you get it back, you know.
And you play in your own time now for fun. You play the piano, the keyboard sometimes.
I just sit on the piano, a little few keys.
Yeah, I've heard you there. You play pretty good.
Where did you hear that?
Well, at the Christmas party over there when the kids came in and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Vernon and I left you there, and all the little kids were gathered around you with the keyboard there.
Oh
So
yeah.
they're all helping out a bit and hitting miscellaneous keys.
Right.
All right, well that's good. So after that, really you worked in a variety of jobs up until retirement, and ended up here in California,
Right.
working up at Hewlett Packard and so on.
I have must be some reason I can.
That's right. We'll find it, and then we'll put some more on later.
You know how I have to think about this myself.
Yeah. Well, if we get out the picture albums, we'll get the picture albums out, and then that'll probably remind you of some things as well. And we'll go look in a minute at the that clip again in Sweden and see whether there's anything you got there.
Some memory will come back.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, thanks very much, Vernon. We'll get some more, and we'll put it all on a disc. We'll put it all together, and I'll edit it.
All right.
And as we get snippets, we'll find the photos and
It's nice talking to you.
collect the bits.
It's been a pleasure.
There you go. Thanks.
Hey, Vern.